Jamir Watkins has been in the portal, and we did a breakdown of his entry to the portal a couple weeks ago. Speculated on some destinations. I shared that I expected Michigan to be involved because Michigan was heavily involved for Jamir Watkins last year. St. John's was a potential destination as well. Last year, that was a big time pursuit, so we expected them to be involved. Well, yesterday, I believe this was from Field of 68 video. Shout out to Goodman and Doster. Those guys are doing great work. You should go watch all the stuff that they're doing. But we got the information that three schools have emerged for Jamir Watkins. And those three schools are Kentucky, Louisville, and Illinois. The way it was framed is those are the three schools in the mix for Jamir Watkins. So this is not no like formal final three, no list, anything of that nature. Jamir Watkins, for what it's worth, I believe going through the draft process. So this will probably be one that drags and is a late decision here, similar to how his recruitment went last year. But Louisville, Kentucky, and Illinois, per the Field of 68, are the schools in the mix. No Michigan on that list. I'll have some thoughts on that in just a moment. But what is your thoughts on the early list for Jamir Watkins?
The list is interesting to me. First off, I like this kid's game a lot. He can shoot the ball well. He gets to the basket well. He has a knack of getting to the free throw line too. And I hate that that's become something within the game of basketball, but it is the grifting era, I guess you could call it. He gets to the line 8 times a game, 75% free throw shooter. For his size, that's phenomenal. And I think he being able to do that while also being able to shoot and finish at the basket makes you extremely tough to guard. One of the best scorers that entered the portal this year, if not the best scorer that entered the portal this year. Um, I said this on a Malik Ewan video. My only caution with both Jamir Watkins and Malik Ewan is if you're so good, why was Florida State so bad? At some point, it's like what happened here? And it might just be coaching, it might be everybody else. There might be some aspects to Jamir Watkins and Malik Ewan that we don't see um, all the time because they were on bad teams. So that'll be interesting for all these teams. Louisville makes no sense unless Mikael Brown's just not playing this year. Um, Kentucky makes no sense unless Jasper Johnson's just not going to play that much this year. And maybe those are decisions that both those individuals are aware of, and it's been spoken about. I mean, I do have some issues with the Mikael Brown that we saw at the Hoop Summit, but that is a 1 game sample size. So I'm sure those conversations have been had. I'm sure they're both aware of the situation, but I think both those fits don't make a ton of sense. Illinois, though, feed me a Jamir Watkins, Chad Baker, Mazzara team. I would love that.
All right, so I said it before, I'm gonna say it again. I love Jamir Watkins. He is one of the very few players in college basketball that you can drop on any roster, basically at any position, and he'll fit in. He's not a guy you got to worry about at all what's around him. He does so many good things on a basketball team. He is so polished. He is such a veteran. The only thing that you would look at with Watkins and be like, I wish that was better, is his 3-point shot. He's a career 32% 3-point shooter. He shot 32% last year on 5 attempts a game for Florida State. Now, the volume was his career best. He's always been a 3-point attempts a game guy before last year. Last year, he was chucking them, hit them at a 32% clip. The 2 previous seasons, he shot 34%. So he's not an awful shooter. He's a capable 3-point shooter. He's just not a knockdown guy. He does everything else. I mean, this guy is all defense. I would argue an elite defender. He's big enough that he can guard fours. He's quick enough, athletic enough to guard, I think, down to the point guard position. I really think this guy can guard 1, 2, 3, and fours at the college level. Productive scorer, 18 points a game last year. Good rebounder, 6 rebounds a game, 2.5 assists. He's a great secondary creator. I just think he's a no-nonsense, awesome player that, I've said this with Adam Miller. I've called Adam Miller a guy that doesn't prioritize winning. He's been on losing rosters. He just kind of goes through it. You can make the same criticism of Jamir Watkins, but the difference for me is that Jamir Watkins has basically been dragging the corpse of Florida State to somewhat respectable results. I mean, they've been awful, but they wouldn't win a game in the ACC without Jamir Watkins the last 2 years. And I think it's time, it's long overdue, quite frankly, for him to get a fresh start. I've shared this in the past, but what I've been told happened last summer was Jamir Watkins was set privately to come to Michigan. There was an agreement in place. And this is Dusty's first go at it. It didn't make the public headlines that it did with Juwan Howard because they didn't announce the commitment ever. But they quickly realized, oh, you're going to have to graduate to get in at Michigan. This is one of those admissions issues that we have. So they didn't let that announcement come public. He never formally committed to Michigan. It was just signed kind of like, yeah, we're going to do this if he can get into school. He didn't get into school. Jamir Watkins is now a grad transfer. So the moment that he hit the portal, I mean, I was informed, I was told Michigan's going to be in play. And it didn't happen yet. But I think there's a world here where Michigan still tries to backdoor this, even if that list isn't here. And it's likely if Yaxel Lendeborg becomes an issue and Michigan was staying in the draft.
You might notice there's a lot of lights on behind me. There's a big ring light I'm using to record this. You want to know why those lights stay on? Because of Underdog, because of these ad reads, people.
Yeah, we heard your feedback. You're annoyed that we keep putting Underdog ads in the middle of our videos. Well, guess what? We got to keep the lights on, and we need some people to sign up for Underdog Fantasy. If you like these videos, if you want us to keep making videos, sign up with Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code SLEEPERS, and they actually have an awesome offer for you. You can receive up to $1,000 in bonus credits. 50% of your first deposit will be distributed in bonus credits, and you get a free pick. And Cart, I got a pick with Underdog Fantasy for this weekend that I'm already eyeing. We got the Pistons and the Knicks, first playoff series in a while for our favorite team. Cade Cunningham over 27.5 points. I'm taking higher than that for my pick with Underdog. Promo code SLEEPERS. Sign up with Underdog Fantasy. It helps the show. It helps us keep making these videos for you. Back to the show. So yeah, I'm intrigued because given this report, like maybe Michigan's not in the report because they're waiting on Yaxel to move on Jamir Watkins, or maybe I have bad info and maybe it's completely out of date. Which one of those two paths do you think is more likely?
Just so I want to make sure I'm understanding, like, why would, in your opinion, why would is there a correlation between Jameer and Yaxel that isn't financial?
I just think I think Michigan is willing to give a $4 million check to a star for one spot. I don't think they're trying to do that with both. That's probably the realm of what Jamir Watkins will cost, and Michigan already has a guy that costs that much that they think is coming. Now, there's reports coming out from Goodman that Yaxel's not coming. So there's a disconnect somewhere with Dusty May. What I would say is this: if there was a realistic chance here that Yaxel's not coming to Michigan, I would hope Michigan is immediately prioritizing Jamir Watkins. This is supposed to be the Yaxel backup plan. I would even say, shit, I'd probably rather prioritize Jamir right now than do the dance with Yaxel. Jamir wants to play college basketball one more year. So I'm frustrated to hear that Michigan's not on this list. But I don't know. The information I'm getting on Michigan seems different than what the Field of 68 is getting right now.
I think Michigan should get on the list because I think if you're Yaxel, you're most likely gone. So if you look at the NBA rookie scales, like nowadays, and this is based upon last year, it's going to increase. But the 23rd pick in the draft gets $16.2 million over 4 years. So that's an average of $4 million per year at the 23 spot. The worst case scenario in the first round is $14 million over 4 years. That number is probably going to be a little higher this year with the salary cap going up. That's a lot of money to pass up on. That's guaranteed for 1 year of $4 million, right? Like those are very similar numbers. And you're also kind of passing up on 12 million potentially, depending on how well you play, in hopes to make couple extra $1 million, right? Then there's also the aspect of if you're Yaxel, you probably want to get your NBA clock started as soon as possible because your second contract could be 4 years, $80, $90 million. And if you stay at Michigan for similar money, you're pushing that back. It just doesn't make a ton of sense. So I think I believe you when it's like, do they want to spend $4 or $5 million on multiple players and run up a 15, $16 million roster? Probably not. I think in the future, though, I think college teams are going to have to prepare to do that because I look at a Will Riley or even a Yaxel. Those are two guys that should stick around in college. But oddly enough, the money isn't there for them to want to do so. and versus a Jamir Watkins, the money is there. So I think Michigan should get involved on Jamir Watkins quickly here and prepare themselves as if Yaxel's leaving. I'm a pretty firm believer in both player and like university movement. If Yaxel's able to flirt with the NBA, he shouldn't feel bad if Michigan flirts with other players.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm just nervous as a Michigan fan to hear they're not currently involved in Jamir. To me, it feels like there's a big risk here that Dusty's fumbling this. And I don't know. He better be right that Yaxel returns. But this is about Jamir Watkins anyway. If those three schools, the ones that Goodman reported, Illinois, Kentucky, Louisville, are the three in play here for Jamir. You mentioned like not sure any of them feel like great fits. My rebuttal was like, I think everywhere's a great fit with a player like Jamir Watkins. Quickly, here's how I would see them fitting in. Louisville has a bunch of guards. I don't love their front court answers. I think at Louisville, he would just be a full-time four, probably their stud in the front court and kind of glue everything together. At Kentucky, it's really funny. We have the bit where every player is a perfect fit for Mark Pope. Kentucky fans' reaction to this is like, I'm not sure this one makes sense. It's the first player that I've heard Kentucky fans be like, I don't see it in our system. And he's such a good player that it just doesn't make a lot of sense to say he's not good in the system. I guess it's skepticism with the shooting. But what I would tell you is this: if you got Otega Owe back and Jamir Watkins, there would be a level of dog to that team on the wings that I would just adore. And you could mix in skill and shooting everywhere else. Like Owe, Jamir Watkins, Quainton's front court is insanely terrifying. So of the three right now, I actually like Kentucky, I think, is the best fit. But then Illinois would be a great fit as well. You're basically talking about the role we're speculating could go to Baker Mazzara, would instead go to Jamir Watkins. Now, what I was told was Illinois backed out of the Dame Saw recruitment at a certain price point. Straight up, I think you're going to have to pony up huge money for Jamir. I don't know what the number is, but if Yaxel's going for 4, I would assume Jameer's in that same price range. So I guess of those three situations, you got one that you think would be an ideal fit?
He talked me into it. Talk to me into it. Give me him at the
Really?
four for Louisville. Give me all three of those guards. Give me Jamir. We're gonna play like psycho pace basketball, 7 seconds or less. Phoenix Suns, Mike D'Antoni style. We have four guys that can create their own shot at all times. The problem's gonna be I'm not sure any of those guys want to create a shot for anybody else besides themselves. But like I don't know if they have to. I think four guys straight ISO ball. Let's get after it for 40 minutes and see if you can outscore us.
Yeah, I think all three are really good fits, honestly, as we talk through it. I think my personal favorite's Kentucky, just because I love the idea of him and Owe together. But Illinois needs a player just like this. I think Louisville could obviously use a player like this. Again, every school in the country could use a Jamir Watkins. To me, in the end, when we end the portal season, if he really does commit somewhere else, you're going to list out the best players that transferred this year. Watkins is likely top 5, if not top 10. And he's going to thrive wherever he goes. So good luck to Illinois, Kentucky, and Louisville. And please get involved, Michigan, before this is over with.